was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Man, welcome back. Yeah, man, shout out to y'all for joining us tonight, man. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Man, y'all got to stop being stingy with them likes, man. Folks be fighting, smashing that like button, man. Smash the like button. That's the simplest, easiest thing to do. Smash the like button for us. So that helps us get seen out here in the YouTube, Facebook streets. So yeah, smash that like, man. Don't be stingy. Man, also, man, hit that share, man. We want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible, man. So the only things we ask, man, smash that like button, man. Hit that share. Turn on the notifications. It's just that simple, man. Smash that like button, hit that share, and turn on the notifications. All right, cool. Well, man, we do this link real quick while I'm thinking about it. All right, here's a link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you come with your Apple device, come on through your device, join us on the panel. Yeah, man. Don't be scared, man. Get in on the conversation, bring your perspective. Like I said, we welcome all perspectives. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this link in the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, where we're currently live right now. Sure, we'll lead us up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let me see what we got checking in real quick, see what's going on. Shout out to my guy Donovan in the building. He said, what up, though? Happy Wednesday, Kandid Konvos fan. What's going on with you, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. Always holding us down, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy Vince in the building. He said, hey, fam, what's going on, Vince? Appreciate you hopping on as well, man, holding us down. Yeah, one of my panelists right there. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Kenyatta. She said, happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you as well. I said, always holding us down, man. I said, shit, man, shout out to y'all, man. Let me do this real quick, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, we got some folks out here, man, who've been rocking with Kandid Konvos for a long time. Yeah, just holding us down, man, consistently every Wednesday night, man. And like I said, we wouldn't be out here doing our thing if it wasn't for y'all. So yeah, no, we appreciate y'all supporting what we do, man, supporting the platform, hitting that like button, sharing out the content, man. Like I said, always holding us down. We appreciate that for real, for real. All right. Let me drop this link down. Like I said, the link is in the chat feed, so y'all can grab it if y'all need it. But we're going to get right on into it, man. I don't know. It might be one of them straight to it type of nights. We'll see how this go. All right. So let's go and get on into that conversation, man. Topic for the night. Black people have lost the plot. Man, you can say that again, man. Topic for the night. Black people have lost the plot. Okay, well, we're going to see how this all going to play out. Let me throw up this first one.
Women stay with a man because they see potential in him as mother. I believe when women stay with a man because they see potential in him is mothering them. They see potential.
No, that's a toxic mindset. And I love you, but I'm glad you said that, because there's a difference between potential in action and potential in theory. And I think that a woman should be okay with a man that has potential in action. And I don't know why women, so many women, especially black women, want a finished product.
No. Talking about potential in theory.
Why is it that a lot of white women will go to college, meet their man? That young man doesn't have all the answers.
Right.
That young man doesn't know the plan, but
Right.
they're willing to ride it out and grow with that man because there's potential in action. Whereas we want the man that makes $5 million a year, drives the Rolls Royce Cullinan, that has the multi-million-dollar house, that has. Well, this is the thing. If he already accumulated all of these things, then why is it?
Why does he need you?
But not from the space of why do I need you because my business is good, but do you actually appreciate? Do you have the nurturing? Do you have the effective communicative way to actually be of value to that man? Why would he choose you? As opposed to all of these men out here that have a plan and they're in action, but they just haven't gotten there yet. What's wrong with that man?
There's nothing wrong with that man.
Well, why do so many women, they're like, he ain't made it yet. Okay, you haven't either.
Okay. See, she ain't holding nothing back on that one. So it's video number one. I see JR just hopped on here. JR, what's going on, man?
Yes, I'm all good. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Just bad weather around here, man. You know, it is.
Okay. All right, let's say we're glad you're back on here, man. I was waiting on that Nico to pop up, man. I see it's just JR today, man.
Yeah, back as normal.
I hear that, man. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Civil in the building. He said, make sure to like the video, folks. Yeah, no, smash that like button, man. If you haven't already, smash that like button, man. See, shout out to the real one in the building. He said, hello, everyone. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. I said one of my mods. So let's definitely keep folks in check. Keep them in check. All right. So y'all saw video number one. I'm gonna mute you for a sec, JR. Hold on. Where are you at? All right, there you go. So y'all saw video number one. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about what Sarah had to say about this potential. Let me get some of these comments and we'll come back to the panel. Let's see. So Kenyatta said exactly. Finally, someone speaking with some common sense. Yeah, no, she was straight to it. Yeah, straight to it. Let's see. Donovan said, let's see the Taj at Mahal. wasn't a finished product overnight. Man, Donovan, you be cracking me up, man. But you're right about that. It wasn't. All right, so let me come on back to my panel, Coco, JR. So what y'all I know this conversation has been going on for a while, right? This conversation around potential. These fellas having potential, these women having potential. What's your position on this? Because I got a position too. What's your position on this potential? Was Sarah right in saying that, you know, some of these other ladies have figured it out, you know, and some of the black women ain't figured it out, or she? What's your position on what she's saying? Go ahead, Coco.
I mean, I just think that my question would be, what is this? What scale are y'all rating men on that's different than the one that you're rating yourselves on? Because she made a point about, you know, women not having it all together. Why are you expecting the men to have it all together? And I just want to sit with that for a second, because you guys are working your job just like he's working your job. You were trying to pay your rent, pay your car note, pay your bills, just like y'all basically, we all out here living the same types of lives. Like, they may look a little different from house to house, from person to person, but we all out here pretty much living the same type of life. And I'm just trying to figure out, what is it about women that has them thinking that they're so much further ahead of men? Because what are you looking for this? What are you looking for? What does the finish line look like for him? Because y'all must believe y'all are at the finish line. And all y'all doing is working jobs. You got a job, sis. That's it. You just got a job. So what does he need that's got so much better than what you got going on? I don't understand it. I need somebody to explain it to me. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain it to me. What's so different? What's so different? I don't get it. I don't get it. Because right now, from where I'm sitting, you guys are no more further along. You're not doing anything special. You know, some women have been able to, you know, earn a wage that's maybe higher than the average. But if you look at the stats, it's still pretty much, you know, men out earning women. So what is it that you're looking from this man that he doesn't have that you feel like you do? That's what I've always wondered. Like, what do you guys want? What do you want? I mean, just point blank period. What do you want? And stop saying more. What does more look like? Can you qualify that? I mean, that would be my question, because I think what's happening here is if you guys can answer that question, then maybe we can cut down on some of the confusion, because it doesn't make sense to me. That's all I have to say about that. Like, that's it. Answer that question. Somebody in the chat.
Yeah, somebody down in the comments, man, answer that. Yeah, what is that? What are we missing? It's got to be something we missing out here. Let me check in with JR on Beatbox. I saw you just hopped on Beatbox. I don't know if y'all got a position on this potential conversation. As I said, I don't know if y'all caught that video. I don't know if Sarah y'all think she was spot on, or was she missing anything? Or yeah, we just trying to understand this. I know this is a long. Well, I can't even say it that way. I know this conversation has been going on for a while. But it's like we still missing the plot when it comes to this particular conversation and this topic. So let me come over to JR. Go ahead, JR. It's on you, man.
Yeah, she said, well, she mentioned some good points there, right? And I think we're starting to come to that reality, that realization that we haven't really been keeping it real with black women. They ain't shit. Pardon my language, you know. It's about time I actually tell them the truth, because throughout all our lives, we've been hearing it, you know. And I always say this, Mr. Price, if we both work together, right, we can both achieve something. To where, when black women say black men are kings, we're not kings, but I see what they mean. We can become kings. When black men sit there and say black women are queens, yeah, they're not queens, but I can imagine black women being queens, you know. The top of the top, the highest, the best of the best. But they think they already made it without working with the black man. The black man ain't made it, but somehow the black man's got to get to the finish line, and she's bringing this illusion of success, and we don't know what it is. Yet we don't know where the finish line is for the black man in terms of success. How far does he have to keep going to reach what she deems to be acceptable?
Good question. Good question. No, I appreciate that right there. Yeah. What is the pinnacle? Yeah, that's really the question we're asking. What is the pinnacle? Like, what is this? When does he get the sign off? Because it's like it's never enough. When does he get the sign off? Yeah, so I'm trying to understand this. I said, because I know this is a long conversation or a conversation that's been in existence for a long time. But yet I still don't think we got this figured out. Let me check in with Beatbox and Civil Beatbox. I know if y'all want to say something, come off mute, say what you want to say. If not, we'll keep it moving. Y'all good? Oh, go ahead, Beatbox.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. What's up, guys? Sorry I was a little late.
It's all good, man.
I think a lot of these ladies just don't want to tell the truth as far as what they want. They really want a really good looking man who's making all the money and paying all the bills. That's what they want. They just want to pay a guy who's like Idris Elba, like paying all their bills and doing what he's told. That's what they want. They just don't have the nuts to say that. And until, like, as JR said, we just gotta be real with a lot of these women. I mean, Sarah, she's a crazy one to talk because she's like, I wouldn't date someone making $70K. Okay, all right, baby girl. So, you gotta calm down with that a little bit. But you need to get with somebody early. And black women, and I don't know if this might be just me personally, but when I went to college, almost every melanated woman told me, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm just doing my studies. I'm doing my studies. I kept hearing that. And that's crazy to me. I think that's weird. This is the best place to find somebody. It's like college, especially in college. It's very unique. And if you're not trying to find somebody, then it's going to be really hard for you, especially if you're a woman who doesn't have leverage. Good luck, black women.
Well, let me appreciate that comment, man. Let me ask this though, because I think we gotta now, being that everybody's mindsets has begun shifting, we now even have to ask this question: Is finding somebody younger, is that even possible at this point? Yeah, because the way folks are thinking now, it's just like, to your point, Beatboxer, when people have, or when they're in a situation where they're essentially around possible candidates. Yeah, so they in their dorm, you in your dorm, y'all at the at the food hall, whatever you want to call it, cafeteria. It's like you around candidates. But it's like, we've seen the videos, and it's like young ladies will not move on a man because, to your point, Beatboxer, she focused on getting this paperwork and this and that, so she ain't thinking about no relationship and all of that. Before you know it, it's 35, 40. Then once the career and all of that, and the dollars start to roll in, then it's like, oh, I wouldn't mind having a man. And it's like, well, that you missed that already. Yeah, but then you tie it back to the video and this whole potential issue. And it's just like, I guess I don't understand where this potential became a bad thing. Yeah, I don't understand it, because what I'm starting to notice is we only do this nonsense when it comes to relationships. Yeah, people will go out right now and buy a fixer-upper house because the price is right and it's got potential. But then when it comes to relationship, we don't want somebody with potential. Yeah, people will go out right now and buy a used car because the price is in the range they looking to spend, and it might hold up, it might last, so they're gonna take a chance on it. But then when it comes to a relationship, we don't wanna walk into no potential. It's like I look at things and it's like I see so many examples of how we'll go down the road and be very accepting of potential. But then it comes back to a relationship, and now all of a sudden you want somebody at the finish line. And I'm just like, what? what's the double standard? Like, what is that about? Yeah, we only do this nonsense when it comes to relationships. But we'll go take a job, not really know anything about the company, about the management, about the team members, anything. But the job has the potential to be something good. So we'll dive in and ride that thing out for 7 to 10 years. But then come back to a relationship, we don't want potential. Yeah, it's like it's the weirdest thing. And it's like we only want to do it when it comes to relationships. We don't do it with anything else in life. Yeah, we go to restaurants. People will give you bad reviews and say, no, I don't know about that restaurant. Food was a little shoddy the night I went. But we'll still say, you know what? I'm going to go see for myself. Let me go to the restaurant and see how I feel about it. Then if I don't like it, then I'll be like, oh, okay, this is a bad restaurant. So it's like we will do all type of stuff that involves potential and no guarantee. But then when it comes to a relationship, then it's got to be a guarantee, and it's got to be at the finish line. Yeah, it don't make no sense at all. Let me get some of these comments. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Vince. He said, I think the ladies play around too long with unrealized potential. They don't know how to recognize and vet for real potential. So, yeah, no, I think that's definitely a part of it. So the vetting, we know that the vetting is a problem. Yeah, but it's almost like we trying to carry this I can't even call it a risk tolerance. Like I don't know what we doing. We only want to apply it to relationships. It don't apply to nothing else in life. Yep, nothing else in life. Yes, I don't know. See, Donovan said, let's see, this jaded mindset is a clear representation of the individual's intentions. Yeah, no, for sure. Intentions definitely plays in there. And that's also a part of the problem if we're gonna be honest about it. Yeah, no, I'm trying to understand the mentality. Because I think this is one of the barriers that is stopping a lot of relationships from even getting off the ground. We can't even get the perspective right. Yeah, I think about how many. Let's just be honest. Let's go there real quick. Let's be honest. I wonder how many of us people wouldn't be here if somebody didn't go down the road of, taking a chance at some potential. Yeah, like let that sink in. While we talking this nonsense, we be out here talking. How many of us would not be here if somebody's mama, parents, grandparents, somebody didn't accept some potential and work with that potential, build with that potential, and turn it into what it is today? How many of us wouldn't even be here? Yes, I mean, we got to get real about some of this stuff, man. Yeah, especially if you claim that you're trying to find your relationship, claim you're trying to get married, you really got to look at your mindset. Yeah, you really got to look at your mindset. You want to say something, Coco? I saw you come off.
I was just going to say real quick, and then I know we're moving on, but some, not all, but some of the richest men in the world now, it didn't pop for them early. They didn't gain their riches early. So imagine if the women that are now benefiting from those riches, or even have benefited because maybe they were married and they got divorced, but they benefited. Imagine those women being like, yeah, he ain't got it together. That little Amazon stuff, it ain't giving. It ain't giving. The books and everything, like it's not giving. So I need to go find somebody because I need more. Like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even make sense. I don't understand where this idea that we need the man. We need him to have it all figured out as soon as possible. And I'm like I said, even though our lives look different just day to day, we're all sort of walking the same journey through life. So it's really interesting to me that, you know, we have this mindset for men, and this is exclusively for men, because we do not set this type of expectation for women. So we have this mindset for men that they have to have it all figured out. A man that has gone to college with you, you know, he's gone to college, you guys graduated the same year. Why do you expect that man to be further along faster than you? It just doesn't even make logical sense. What do you expect him to be able to do faster than you? And then when a man says, okay, cool, I'm gonna skip college, then I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna get a little skill and I'm just gonna go straight to work so I can start making this money, right? Then you look down on him, he's not educated. But he had a jump start, right? While you were in school, he was in work. He was at work, you know, building. So I'm confused. What do you want this man to do exactly? What should this look like? And that's why I just say, you know, for me personally, I think it goes back to women don't necessarily know what they want. And this is why the title is Black People Have Lost the Plot. You don't get it. Building together, I'll say this. Building together to me is still the best way for you guys to develop your relation. I don't think people understand there's so much to be learned. There's so much growth for you, personal growth, when you build with a person. There's so much that you guys have both invested in your relationship that neither of you are interested in just walking away at the first sign of trouble, because what you have, you've built it together. And I just don't think people understand that. That's why it's so easy for you to walk away. You never cared enough to begin with. So it doesn't matter. And if he built it and it's his, and you come into it and you get to reap the benefits, you don't care about taking any of it with you when you leave, because you ain't really cared about him anyway. That's why men are saying, nope, y'all want to wait at the finish line, you'll keep waiting. So, I mean, I think that's my perspective.
Okay, I appreciate that right there. I saw Cole just hopped on here. Cole, you there, Cole? Or you just listening?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm just checking. I didn't know if you wanted to say something yet. I know you just got on.
I don't know if you guys played any videos yet, but just off a previous history of the topic, yeah, we have lost the plot. I do agree that the best way to build is with one another, but honestly, the community is selfish as hell.
What are you talking to
And
me?
no, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay.
The community is selfish as hell. So
Okay, go leave it
that's
just
where
like
we at
that.
with it.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at that. All right, I know if y'all want to say anything else. If not, let's say we'll keep it moving. Y'all good? All right, y'all good. Okay, we're gonna go on to number. Let's see what this fella talking about right here.
Take. Y'all gonna this is a hot take. Y'all gonna be pissed off. Some of y'all might be mad that I'm gonna say this. Some of y'all men might be mad I'm gonna say this. Some people might agree with me, some people might not. But it's a huge percentage of our fault why the women act how they act right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a hot take, I know. But it's majority our fault the way the women act right now, cause we ain't got it together. Everybody want to say they a king, I'm a boss, I'm a leader, I'm gonna do this, but we ain't treating the women like we need them. We ain't teaching our women how to support bosses, leaders, and kings. Because if we did, they would have grew into who we needed them to be to keep us solid as a community. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just negligent, but in the natural order of things, they do what they think we want. And we spent years degrading them. We spent years calling them hoes and bitches and this and that, so that's what they became. And the day that we take accountability for that is the day we can start to change it.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Y'all gonna be pissed off. Some of y'all might be mad that I'm gonna say this. Some of y'all men might be mad I'm gonna say this. Some people might agree with me, some people might not. But it's a huge percentage of our fault why the women act how they act right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a hot take, I know. But it's majority our fault the way the women act right now, cause we ain't got it together. Everybody want to say they a king, I'm a boss, I'm a leader, I'm gonna do this, but we ain't treating the women like we need them. We ain't teaching our women how to support bosses, leaders, and kings. Because if we did, they would have grew into who we needed them to be to keep us solid as a community. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just negligent, but in the natural order of things, they do what they think we want. And we spent years degrading them. We spent years calling them hoes and bitches and this and that, so that's what they became. And the day that we take accountability for that is the day we can start to change it.
Okay. Let me look at these comments real fast. See, Vince says simping ain't easy. I see y'all ain't about to let bro off the hook on that one. I see.
Now, wait a minute. Let's just think about this for a minute, okay?
Go ahead.
He said that we have to be reasonable, guys. Have to be reasonable. He said that you guys, you have been calling them 304s and itches for a long time. And now that's what they're acting like. Is there truth to this?
I don't know who got the guts to go in on this one. V-Box, I don't know.
Is there truth to this, gentlemen?
Come on, fellas. Y'all got to say something,
question,
JR.
sorry?
Somebody. Go ahead, JR.
Have you guys...
Can you not hear me?
Yeah,
okay, I can hear you.
Man. Yeah. No. I was just asked what's the question again? Sorry. If you can just repeat it,
I was going to say, I'm saying like, he said that men have been calling women 304s and itches for a long time. And now they're acting like it. And I just want to know, is there truth to that?
Man, hold on. It's not got quiet, man.
JR, what's happening? What's going on, JR? I can answer, JR.
No, I'm just thinking,
You finding it?
Yeah.
Let's give you some time.
They hit him with the...
No, I think it's just a situation where I'm just, playing the game how it is, man. That's how I walked into the situation, man. There's already, bitches and hoes, and I just jumped right into it.
So you guys are telling me that you guys have never referred to any women as 304s and itches before?
On the regular.
Yeah, on the regular, and I call things by their proper name.
Exactly. You call a chair, if it fits, maybe a hit dog holler. But I will say this, Coco, I think your impersonation of his voice was spot on. Like the lisp was right there with it. I was digging that. I hate that the young man is from, looking like he's from SoCal, because I'm from SoCal myself, and that's a terrible look. Ultimately, when men use that phraseology, they were never applying it to real women. They were using it to the women that kind of fit the definition of those words. And now he's trying to take this blame and spread it out on us because now women are this way because of this. No, like black men have never been in a position to where they have the cultural power to kind of put something like that on black women. This is just basically a sign of the times. And since our culture, Black American culture, tends to be the most popular, it's highlighted the most worst parts of it. And now that's kind of what we're seeing in the media, and that's what we're seeing perpetuated, and that's what we're seeing defining, black men and women. I get kind of where he was going because he's probably trying to get a little something. Maybe somebody will like a video, and maybe somebody will say, hey, I thought you made a good point. We should go out sometime. But the reality of the situation is any woman that fits any of those two definitions, any of those two words, they're not women you need to spend time with anyway. And I use the term woman on them loosely because they are itches, and it's okay because everybody needs to scratch every now and then. and they are 304s. And again, everybody need to scratch every now and then.
I hear you. I just think that I just think that if we're gonna have the conversation, we got to be for real. Now, y'all know that there doesn't really even need to be a real good reason for a man to get in his feelings and call a woman out her name, right? They're not always talking about women that are 304s, and they're not always talking about women that are itches. They're talking about women that aren't doing what they want them to do when they want them to do what they want them to do. And we know that because I've been called out my name before. So, I mean, and not to just get to, use anecdotal as like rule of thumb, but I'm just simply saying, that it exists. So there's validity to his point, right? Where there's a little smoke, there's fire. So there is some accountability. I truly do believe that men have to hold with how they've treated women in their past and how they've treated women coming through, right? Like a lot of men will look at where they are today and they'll say, well, I'm this man that I am today. And that's great because people can change and that's great. You know what I'm saying? People should be allowed to change and be allowed to evolve. The problem though is when you were who you were doing what you were doing, you created trauma. You left bodies and baggage and all of that. And to just now say, well, if we only did it to certain women, it's like, but those women aren't born hoes. And they aren't born that, right? Like maybe there are some women who are, I can't say all, never can, but I don't see how we can say that it's just we're all of these women that are now in this particular situation. Are we putting them in this category? We're born that way. That they didn't have circumstances, that they didn't have situations, that they didn't experience things that influence certain behaviors, right? Not to use that as an excuse, because I still think you have to have control over yourself and your choices have consequences. So we're not letting anybody off the hook. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. You can't let anybody off the hook, right? And I think that there is a level of accountability that men have to take for. You can't just go out there and be doing whatever you do in terms of women and then say, these women are this or these women are that. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I can agree with that. I can get down with that. Like, if there was a blame pie, so to speak, in terms of breaking it up, I would probably say it's 60-40, and I would give men the 60 simply because of the fact that we are men and that it is our responsibility to kind of not necessarily dictate, but it's to set the standard that people tend to follow. And I know within the Black community, like that standard got broken up, like especially like in the 70s and the 80s, whether it be with the introduction of crack cocaine or whether that was the introduction of like welfare and systems that basically forced the man out of the house. But ultimately, the women did still make that choice to take those steps, to put the Black male out of the house, to begin emasculating him, to take away that authority, that power. The patriarch was kind of just removed from, the Black culture. So there was a lack of an opportunity for these fathers to teach these young girls what they needed to do in order to grow into women versus growing into 304s and the other word. So I do agree with that. And I do put the lion's share of the burden on men because as men, and this is going to come out a lot worse than I actually mean it. But like, I think as men, we're better than women. And in being better than women, we need to take on, the lion's share of the blame, especially when it comes to the degradation of them.
I get that. I appreciate that. I think so about the better than women comment. I think that better is just the word that you use, but I get where you're going. Like, I think that if you're going to be the leaders of a community, if you're going to be the leaders of households, if you're going to be the leaders of a nation, that you do need to have something over. I mean, you got to have something that would establish you as qualified in that role. So I do think that there is something that men have over women. I would agree with that. I think also the reason why I can say what, I'm taking the stance and the point that I'm taking is because men are the fathers that these 304s and itches need, right? He made a point about we're not teaching our daughters. And that is missing. And I'm not putting that on you guys because I know some men were forced out of the home and some men are not allowed to be around their kids. So I'm not going to say that's all a man's fault. But unfortunately, the consequences of that is these girls are growing up without a father figure who can kind of instill this sense of self-worth in them that they do need. You know what I mean? That instruction that they do need, that guidance from a man, right? They need, I know they have mom there, but listen, y'all already know what that is. That guidance that they need from a man, it's not there. So in a way, once again, there is some accountability there. Now, in this particular point, I'm not saying it's the man's fault because he doesn't always have control over whether or not he gets access. So that's not something that, I can just lay at his feet. But at the same time, it has an effect. It does have an effect on how these girls are being raised. So if we want, we got to look at the conversation from multiple different, views. And we have to say, yeah, this is, it's part of it. So, I mean, that's just the point I was making.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. I'll say this. I didn't agree with everything that the gentleman said in the video. But he did have some valid points. Yeah, one of the points he made where he said that, a lot of men today don't have it together. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, but at some point, man, we got to own some of this stuff. I agree. Yeah, a lot of fellas don't have it together. Yeah, they out here playing games. They out here laying up with chicks. They out here being irresponsible. They don't know where they where they trying to take their life. Like we see it. You out here in these streets, they still sagging pants. Like we see it. It's a lot of fellas who don't have their stuff together, right? So as a candidate to be a husband, you're not fitting the bill. Let's just keep it a buck. Yep, let's just keep it a buck. So let's say to that point that he just made, I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of fellas out here who dropping that ball, right? So of course we got to look back at the mamas and the daddies and the village that was around that young fella, as to why he may be veering off track. But yeah, we got to own that. At the end of the day, a lot of these conversations is about ownership, and we got to own that. We may not like to hear it, but it's just the truth. And like I said, and as people, we can be honest. We've seen it. You can walk up and down the street and see some things. What's going on, young fella? Like, you all over the place, man. Let me holler at you, man. What's going on? So we see some of that, right? So to my man's point, what I'm saying, there's a lot of fellas out here who do not have their stuff together. So no, that is true. But what I will also say in response to that is we also can't have a situation where we have a lot of our ladies out here dogging those men while they ain't got their stuff together. You got to be honest about that too. A lot of our ladies out here who think they got it going on, because they got one or two or three internet businesses selling some lashes and some bundles. That don't mean you got your stuff going on. Now let's keep it a buck. You can see this is the thing. We really got to put some context around somebody having their stuff together or having it going on, right? We today in current day, because we so aesthetically driven, we like to pick and choose. We like to say, oh, because I got this job making this money, I'm on point. But then everything else about you jacked up. The interpersonal skills jacked up, communication skills jacked up, attitude trash, relationship building trash, conflict resolution trash. Like we want to pick and choose certain things to gauge ourselves off of, right? But like I said, once again, if we're gonna call it what it is, we got to call it what it is. Yeah, it's a lot of fellas out here that ain't got their self together. It's a lot of ladies out here who ain't got their self together. Let's just keep it a buck. So at the end of the day, we all got some work to do to get ourselves together. Yep, and get all our ducks in a row and get our affairs in place and get our relationships situated and solid. Like, we all got a lot of work to do. So that's the one thing I don't like. I don't like the picking and choosing. Yeah, but at the end of the day, a lot of us is on the same playing field, trying to act like we doing something different, but we literally doing the same stuff. So yeah, we got to be real about that. The other thing that the gentleman said that I do have to agree with is he said that we are not teaching our ladies how to support these types of men. And I agree with that as well. Yep, I think in a lot of families, I think that's the case. Yeah, but I don't think we put that same focus. We'll try to drive certain foundational pieces and morals and standards into the sons, as it relates to growing up, being a husband, having a family, and this and that. But I don't think we do the same thing with the ladies. Yeah, but we've talked about that before. Yeah, we'll drive the sons to provide and you gotta, take care of the household and cover everybody and protect everybody and this and that. But we don't give that same attention to the young ladies as it relates to being a wife. And if we're gonna be honest, we don't teach that. We don't teach the ladies that. We teach the lady, carry yourself this way, do this, do that. But we don't teach them about when you get with a man, then what does that entail? What is he going to need? How do you need to support him? How do you need to interact with him? How do you need to speak to him? Like, we don't teach any of that. That piece is missing if we're going to be honest about it. And once again, I'm not saying that we do a stellar job on either side, but I'm just speaking from what I see. We put more energy into the sons versus, what we put into the young ladies. So to my man's point, I do agree. That's definitely lacking. The other thing I will say is, as it relates to his points around these 304s and these itches. My thing with that is I'm over the excuses. Yep, I'm over the excuses of because this other person is doing this, that you got to conform to it. Yeah, just because you coming across some fellas with some whack language, some derogatory language, don't mean you got to conform. Yeah, that don't mean you got to go out here and get naked. That don't mean you got to go out here and start acting stupid. Like, that don't mean that. Yeah, but I'm not sure why we pick and choose when we want to think and use common sense. Like, I don't understand that. Yeah, so just because some dude is using some verbiage, that don't mean that you got to conform to that. You still can stand on your own and be a stand-up citizen and have a reputation and protect your brand and move as a woman and move as a lady and be feminine and all of that, regardless of what these dudes is talking about. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So yeah, I have a problem with that. Cause for me, that's that finger pointing again, and that's that lack of accountability again. And I said, that's the stuff that we got to get away from. You got to own your stuff. If you want to be out here, because I see this stuff all over social media. If you want to be a 304, which I see it, then that's on you. Yeah, we ain't about to blame that on the dudes, because there's plenty of women that's choosing not to be that way. So we got to be honest about that. We ain't about to point that finger like that. Let me check back in with the panel. Vince, I saw you just hopped on, man. I know you probably want to say something. Go ahead, man.
How y'all doing?
You good, man? How you doing?
Good. I had to rock the baby down. That's why I wasn't on time.
It's all good, man. It's all good. What's going on with you, man?
I'm doing good. But to say that we have lost the plot, and I think we've lost the plot in regards to family. I think that we have come to a point as a culture where the Black husband and father is not required. It's not needed. And people feel like, oh, well, I can get him a mentor at 12 years old to substitute for his daddy, and he'll be okay. A mentor was never meant to be your daddy. He was meant to mentor you on a career. So I just think we've lost the plot in regards to, and me and my wife talk about this all the time. And a lot of people, they look at me funny when I say, divorce is not an option for us. There is no way I will ever be comfortable not being in the home with my children. And that's sad to say because I have older children that I wasn't in the home with. But when you see that importance, and I told Remy, I was like, we just have to figure it out. You gonna be upstairs, I'm gonna be downstairs. I don't know where you going because I'm going with you. Well, my kids ain't going on, you know. And it's because we both see, because we, like I always say, we had a do-over. We see the effect of not having both parents in the home. So we gonna get happy. But in regards to the losing the plot too, I do put some of the accountability on. We haven't taught our children how to properly vet for marriage and for love. It's all about how they feel. Oh, well, he cute. Oh, well, she got a big booty. Have you asked about her parents? Have you looked at how she was raised? Oh, well, all that don't matter. But then you get with them, and then a year down the line, then it's all, well, she don't do this or he don't do that. So I think we lost the plot. I think we have definitely lost the plot.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there, man. And yeah, let me just co-sign on what you said, man. It's yep, as a man, when you take on a responsibility of bringing kids into the, what I'm saying, in the situation, I agree with you, Vince. I'm not about to be without mines. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Yeah, when I see some of the stories out here and I see some of these situations, but no, we ain't doing that. So if it's court, if it's whatever, if it's lawyers, whatever, we not doing that. Yeah, we may not, may not be getting along, whatever it is, but we gonna go and figure that out. Yeah, because what we not gonna do is have these kids up in limbo and tug of war between the parents and the mama leveraging the kids against the daddy, and we ain't doing that. So yeah, at the end of the day, when you take on that responsibility as a man, let's say that's my position. I got to stand on that. Yeah, but like I said, we ain't breaking no situations up like that. That ain't happening. All right, let me check back in. I know. Let me check on with Beatbox. Let's see. Beatbox he's making a lot of facial expressions this whole time. Beatboxer, man, what's going on with you, man? What's going on?
Man, I might be in the minority here, but yeah, man, anytime this conversation's had, I just have a real problem with how it's contextualized. First and foremost, I just don't believe in that whole leadership hierarchy dynamic, but that's a whole nother conversation. The problem here for me is this. Women have agency. Women can do what they want to do. And I have a real problem with, because this this conversation actually reminds me of the when are black men gonna lead? It ain't fucking happening. I'm not gonna force anybody to follow
That's
me.
true. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you, but that's very true. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not gonna force somebody. And again, it's almost sometimes we romanticize the time as black people. Black women have always tried to buck stuff for decades. I don't want to go down the list. I already did it before. But once black women got power and money, you saw what happened. So miss me with this black men need to do better. Fuck that. No. Sorry. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. We are doing better than y'all. What else do you want? What else do you want? What else do you need from us? If you're acting like, again, it's one of the songs that came out, "Bitches Ain't Shit" by Snoop Dogg and whatever, that was a response. If anybody knows about this, that was a response to a black woman saying, "Ends ain't shit." This doesn't just happen in vacuums. Nothing happens out of nowhere. We've had this constant conflict with each other for a very long time. Now we wanted to talk about, well, black men, 60-40%. Sorry, Silva. I'm just not with it. I'm not going to force nobody who don't like me to be with me. I'm not doing it. And black men need to really nut up and pick better women. I will say that. Pick better women to be with, because a lot of us are picking bottom of the barrel whatevers. That's true. But don't let these women get away with it. These women are going to tell you need to lead. No, I'm not leading anybody who's a bucking Bronco. You buck over there. You buck with all these other people. You buck with these white supremacists that talking about black men ain't doing this and that. You buck with them, not with me.
So I gotta push back. I'm pushing back.
I had a little pushback.
Go ahead, Cole. Please. Go ahead, Cole. I'll let you go first.
Go ahead, Cole.
So I was agreeing with the part where he's like, okay, well, when our PM's gonna lead, and it's never. It's like I don't see the leadership. I don't. And the other part was the aspect where the conversation that keep getting said, oh, because women just start getting money. I feel like that's just over exaggerated. Like I don't really agree with that.
So let me repeat it, Cole. Let me repeat it, Cole. I see your volume. No, you good. Your volume was a little low. So let me repeat it. So you said that you don't see the leadership from these black men, and then you also said that the women essentially making this money, that's a little over exaggerated the way you put that. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes. So do I agree that most black men make more money than black women? Yes. So I think that whole thing about they start acting somewhat because they got money. No, I think there's more it needs to be dug into, but I think ultimately, in some cases, not all, that some didn't have a choice and they had to figure this issue out.
I get
I don't
that.
feel like we don't talk about that. We keep saying the same. Oh, because they got money. Not just this economy, but any economy. If you're a single person, you gotta figure this shit out. And I'm personally talking about my attitude towards this shit. I'm not walking around saying, oh, but man ain't this blah blah blah. But I had to figure this shit out, and I do notice, yes, I am not the most feminine. I am very direct when it comes to certain situations. I definitely am. I seen it, but it's clear because other things are going on, obviously. But I'm not the most feminine. I'm definitely direct, but I'm not going to up and disrespect you. But this whole thing of because black women got money, money in relation to who? Because I think the black community as a whole still the lowest on the totem pole. That's why I'm like, it's an exaggeration to me.
It's not, but we can talk about that later because Coco, I didn't mean it that way, but it's also, we're not the lowest on topo as far as economics, but Coco, you can go.
So. Okay.
So I didn't take it that way. I understood what you were saying, right? That basically women, now that women have agency, now that women have the independence and the freedom that they've been begging for, basically, there is no reason for them to still be saying men need to step out and lead, men need to, when basically women are now wanting to assert themselves over the men that they're saying now that they want to lead, that they want to lead them. So I get that. But a couple points you made. One, you're right in saying that women have been out of line for a while. This is not new, okay? This is not new. But I do have to ask the question, right? Because we know we're talking in generalities. If women have been out of order for a while now, but yet for some reason we were able to still have families and households that were intact. We were able to still maintain our marriages. And you're right about the romanticization, because man, that is a thing. We'll look back on something and that thing might have been a rusty penny, but baby, when we look back on it, we'll be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. So you're right about that. I agree with that. But I don't think that that's solely what's happening right now. I think that the fact of the matter is we were able to work things out better. Right now, we're finding ourselves in an impasse, and neither side wants to meet in the middle because men feel justified in their perspective, and women feel justified in their perspective. So nobody wants to meet in the middle. I will say that one of the elements I do truly believe played a part in that is we knew we needed each other more than we do now because of what you said, Beatboxer, because women feel like they have a level of independence that they didn't have before, because they do have a level of financial stability that they didn't have before without men. They now feel like there's really no reason for me to come to the table to bargain or to negotiate or to compromise. There's really no reason because I'm good. So there is truth to what you're saying, but I do think that the problem with that is we don't go anywhere. We don't move. We don't go anywhere. And I don't believe men. I do not believe men when they say they're okay with that. I don't believe you. You know why I don't believe you? Because you guys have built entire platforms where all you talk about was what's wrong with the women and why won't they come back inside. So I don't believe you. I don't believe that y'all collectively are ready to let go of the black woman. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. It's giving cap. If I have a baseball cap, I'll put one on. It's very much giving cap. I do not believe y'all. Y'all are not ready to walk away from black people. You're not. You are not. You are not. You are not. You are not. Because even when you do have to go and find a woman to scratch that itch, it's a black woman that you find. It's a black woman that you find. And please don't tell me it's because black women are the only loose women, because we already know that's definitely not true. That's definitely not true. But you go find a black woman because at the end of the day, that's your fantasy. That's the one. She's the one. That's the one. So let's please stop. Let's stop. Let's stop with that. And when we talk about men, calling women out their name and it being justified or the woman has to be, she has to present herself in a certain way. That's not exactly true. That's not true. And I'm calling that because it doesn't take much of anything for an ignorant person to act belligerent and ignorant. And sometimes it's not even provoked. It's not. So we're not going to give anybody a pass about that. Just like Quay said, even if you see a woman out in the streets and she acting like a 304, just why even interact with that? What's even the point? Stop wasting your time. I keep telling y'all, stop wasting y'all time with these chicks. If she's not worth your time, she's not worth your time. She shouldn't even be a part of your conversation. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but why are you coming out of character? That's the leadership I want to see. See what men keep this. Okay. So what men keep doing when it comes to leadership is y'all think that y'all can only be leaders when a woman shows up or when a person shows up that you can then lead. You're either a leader or you're not, baby. Lead yourself. And part of being a good leader is having personal agency over yourself, having self-regulation, having emotional regulation, and knowing that everything that you think up in your head don't need to come out of your mouth. I don't see y'all leading yourselves properly. You're not leading yourselves properly. So you are just as out of order as black women. It just looks different on y'all. How about that?
I got one reference for you, Coco.
You're out of order too. You're out of order. See, being out of order is just that. That means you're not living in the predetermined structure and role and responsibility that you are and were created and born to be. You're not. You don't need to lead me, because first you need to lead yourself. I, as a woman, need to be looking at how you carry yourself to determine whether or not you're going to be a good leader. And if I don't see the qualities, it ain't there. So, I mean, y'all talking about women this, women that, and I'm here for it because I got a rant about women. I'm just waiting for it. But right now we told we on y'all. And right now, I'm not seeing it. And when I'm speaking in generalities, because obviously I'm not talking about every man. I'm not seeing it. So stop asking the women to come back inside when you guys are struggling yourselves to manage yourselves. Stop asking the women to come back inside. I'm not saying that the women ain't out of line. I never said that. But stop asking women to come back inside for what? Come back inside for who? Who we coming back inside for? What you gonna show me when I get in there?
But I don't even think guys are just trying to get women to come back inside. They're just trying to get women, specifically black women, to just smile at them in the street when they're walking down the street. Kevin Samuels actually talked about this one time with just smile, just be nice. Because ultimately there are going to be knuckleheads out there. They're going to make comments that are inappropriate. They're going to get aggressive with you. And in those instances, you're going to want an actual man to step in and say, yo, that's not cool. Stop that. That's going to be an actual man putting himself in danger, putting his life at risk for a person that's not willing to just smile at him. It's someone to just be friendly, to be nice. We're not asking for you to just come back inside. We're asking you to use your real hair. We're asking you to take care of your body. We're asking you to eat right and just be pleasant. Like, just be pleasant. Right now, the cat's out of the bag. We already entered into, a dual income household being necessary in most instances in order to survive in this country. That cat ain't going back in. There's too many people that make too much money off of 2 social security numbers generating money and generating workforce. So that's not going anywhere. But be polite, be pleasant. And then at that point, you can have men who are willing to step up and lead, because realistically, being a leader is dangerous, especially in this society, especially in this economy right now. It's exceptionally dangerous. And if I can't get a woman to smile at me down the street, and then when somebody yells at her, she wants me to stand up and defend her and put my life on the line when I have kids, I have a household I need to take care of. That's wild. That's just completely wild.
I mean,
and I do agree with you, Coco. I agree. It goes both ways.
I think y'all gotta stop. So first of all, I'm no longer expecting black men or any man for that matter to put his life on the line for a woman he don't know in this particular climate, because unfortunately we've had too many horror stories of what that's like and how left that has gone. So now it's your personal decision. It's your personal choice of how involved you want to get in scenarios like that. Don't get me wrong. Would I like in an ideal perfect situation, would I like for a man to do that? Of course, but that's not really the circumstances we're working in or living in. So I get that, but I'll just say this. I agree that women need to be kinder. I agree that women need to return to a point where femininity and softness was a thing. And when I say softness, I don't mean this fake phony stuff. I mean, you just were kinder, you were nicer, just those genuine nurturing qualities that were bred into women. I do agree that as women, we need to return to that. But I think, unfortunately, and this is not an excuse, I think that we have become hardened. I think that some of it is just in us. Maybe it was the way we was raised. Maybe we inherited it. I do believe some of it is just in us. But I also believe there's also a degree of it that has come from the circumstances and situations that we have found ourselves in society, poor decisions in the past that have shaped the way we see the world. I think all of that has played a part in that. And so I think, just like you guys are saying, I don't want to lead a woman that's behaving this way. I think women are feeling like, just trying to see it from a different perspective. I think women are feeling like, why should I smile at a man that doesn't want to treat me like a lady and be a gentleman to me? So now here we have this circle and we're going around and around in a circle. And men are saying, well, you're not even pleasant, which can't lie. You got a point. She's not. And so women are saying, yeah, but I can't even get a man to just want to open a door for me or like just do something that's just like gentlemanly. Like I can't even get a man to do that, right? Like men don't want to do that anymore. And it's like, okay, so we're both now waiting for the other to do something so that we can then react to that something. And it's just a circle and a cycle that we find ourselves in. And I don't know the answer to that, because I agree that women should be kinder. how do we get women to do that? You know, when they're feeling like men are saying, you're independent, you got it. I don't need to open a door for you. I don't need to pull out a chair for you. I don't need to put my coat down so you can walk over a puddle. I don't need to jump in when your man is beating you. Like, you got it. You got it. And I can't even say I'm mad at a man for taking that position. However, then how does said man turn around and ask her to wear her natural hair and turn around and ask her to, you know, smile? She like, no, why should I do that?
So I think you're talking about two different guys. There are black men who want, because you mentioned this, there are black men who want black women and they're making content for that. There's another side now, and I say this acronym all the time. Civil knows, you know, he knows what time it is. We're not guys that I watch and follow, especially black men, and even in my life, that's not a discussion. I remember me and Herschel went not back and forth, but Herschel did push back. He said something a while back about we need to come to the table to make some sort of agreement. I don't agree with that. It's done. It's done. And black men have leverage. I don't have to put I would tell any young black man, do what's best for you. A lot of this stuff wasn't our fault. Something JR says all the time. A lot of the stuff as young black, we didn't create a lot of this. Whatever's going on, we didn't do it. But we got to fix it, and we got to fix it in our own way. I would tell any black man to screw themselves for the sake of anybody or any community or whatever, who this lady looks like you or none of that. There's a lot of black men who are like, we got to do what we got to do. Period. And it might not be a black woman. It might, and that it's just unfortunate. It just is what it is. So yes, there are black men out here, and I tell those black men, you're wasting your time, brothers. You just are. Because they're not going to listen to you. They're still going to wear, you might say, hey, let's do better, let's do it better, but they're still going to push back on you. There's a guy I watch, Stop Playing Trey. He's in my neck of the woods. He goes out, says, hey, black women, wear your own hair. They push back on him all the time. He's like, you look beautiful with your own hair.
Why is he telling women to wear their own hair though? I told y'all that don't make no sense to me. That makes zero sense to me. Like, oh my God. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't see the problem with that. Y'all really telling me that y'all don't see the problem with you walking up to a stranger that don't know you and you don't know her, and you're telling her she should wear her natural hair. Like, y'all don't understand.
I agree. No,
like,
I agree. So I agree
up to you and starts telling you what you need to do as a man. You think she gonna respond favorably to that? Like, what's wrong with y'all?
I agree.
Who's doing that?
I agree with you, but that's the point. I agree. I don't disagree. I'm saying I'm on the opposite. Don't deal with them at all. I agree with you. I think it's crazy. I would never walk up to any random person to try to change the narrative about anything, because they're not going to change. So I agree. And that's also, it's just personally in bad taste. I just have seen it in my feed, but I think it's stupid. I don't think black men should be doing any of that. Don't come to the table. Don't do none of that. Say, hey, that's what it is. What it is. It's over. Now you either pick a black woman who's going to do what you want, or you either live by yourself, or you better get a Becky or somebody else. Those are the three options y'all got.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all women, that's the thing that I'm saying, right? Like, it's always been pick the woman that's going to fall in line with your structure. It's always been that, whether she's black or non-black. Okay. It's always been that. It's always about picking the best choice for you. When did it become black women ain't the best choice for you no more? I mean, I just don't see how we got to it's either or. Like, we got to the point where black women are not the best. Like, it's always pick the right woman, because you're going to find women in every culture that might not be the right fit for you. Just because she's non-black doesn't automatically make her the right fit for you. You still got to vet her. So every woman, regardless of her culture, needs to be vetted. I don't know. I'm just not with the solution being tell men to, you know, go somewhere else. It's I
meant to explore options. I'm not saying discount altogether. I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying discount altogether, like you just don't do it. I'm talking about diversifying your money, just like diversifying the women. I'm not. If I'm not saying it correctly, I do apologize. There are guys who do feel what you're saying, Coco. They're done. End of story. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the stats alone show that too many women have babies. A lot of men don't have it. That in of itself is incongruent for black men. It's just not going to happen that way, right? You're not going to get a lot of black men to be like, I'm going to choose this lady with children, unless he has children. It's just not going to happen. It's not even personal. It's just not. That alone means that some black men won't be with black women for that alone. Silver Bridge and the hairpiece, and I didn't mean to trigger anything there, but black men in general, I gotta say, that's a sneaky reason why a lot of black women are single too. I'm not dealing with a woman who puts fake hair in it. I'm just not going to do it. I just won't, personally. I need a woman who embraces her blackness, and if you can't embrace that, that's a problem to me. Especially if we have daughters.
What?
If I have a daughter, if I have a black daughter,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are we talking about like fully blackness, or are we just talking about the commercial shit?
So many things wrong with what you just said. God!
I triggered something again. Listen. I want to
oh
be very
my God! Embrace her blackness, because what does that mean to you?
Yes. Yeah. What is that? What is it?
What does that mean
that's
to
the
you?
question. What does that mean? To you?
I'm sorry, Quake. We got to divert for a second. What does that mean to you? Put me and Beatboxer next to each other, please, for just a second.
I don't even know if I can do it. Y'all trying to get me to do stuff. I don't even know if I can do that. I don't even know how to do that.
I just want to know.
No, you definitely can. There's a way you definitely can. I want to see it.
I just want to know.
Go ahead.
I want to know, what does that mean to you that a woman needs to embrace her blackness? Please explain to me.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Most of these ladies out here, when they're wearing fake hair, what does it look like?
I don't know. What does it look like to you?
No. Let's be honest. I want to see how honest y'all gonna be. How honest y'all gonna be? What does it look like? Does it look like Negro hair?
It depends.
It depends. It depends on the style. Wait, what?
On the style.
What? We're talking about wait. No, for real. We're talking about a range of
because there's all kinds of wigs and weaves out here. All
kinds. Stuff that look natural. They got
all kinds.
It is. Wait, they had a kinky styles now. They had a kinky wig.
Yes, they do.
They definitely do. Wait a minute. What?
It's a range.
Do you know? I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Do you know how many? I'm just gonna say this. Do you know how many women? I'm on TikTok, y'all. Do you know how many wigs? If I go up and down my For You page, do you know how many wigs ads I get served every day? And you know how them wigs look? They not straight. They curly. Every single wig is curly hair, defined, curled hair, all up and down my For You page. I can't escape it, girl. If I see one more Burmese curly hair wig, if I see one more, I'm gonna scream. So I know where you're going with this. Yes, there are plenty of blonde wigs too. I see them. There are plenty of straight, super straight, silky wigs. I see those as well. So I'm not gonna say that you're wrong in that I see those too. What I'm telling you is I see all kinds of wigs and weaves, all varieties. Because what I'm finding about Black women is we like, and I can say this as a Black woman, we like to switch up our hair a lot. We like to wear different hairstyles a lot. And some of those hairstyles you can't get with your own natural hair. Your hair not long enough. It ain't the texture that'll do that particular hairstyle that you want to do. So you switch it up. So I'm not gonna say that it hasn't gotten out of hand, because y'all already know how I feel about that. I do believe it has gotten out of hand. But I don't necessarily think that this is about women not wanting to embrace their Blackness. I think the one thing about Black women that needs to be understood as a Black woman is that we love the diversity of our hair. We love the fact that we can straighten our hair. We love the fact that we can wear it curly. We love the fact that we can fry it, dye it, and lay it to the side. We love the fact that we can do all of those things to our hair. You know who can't do all those things? Europeans, because their hair texture does not promote all of that. So a woman embracing her blackness might look like she might have a ponytail, a French roll, a bob, a wig, and some braids all in the same month. You know why? Because that's what she likes to do to her hair. She likes variety. It doesn't necessarily mean she not black enough. It doesn't necessarily mean she hate her hair. It doesn't necessarily mean all of that. It doesn't have to mean that, right? Like some women, I'm gonna be honest, what I'm seeing right now, a lot of women just lazy and they just don't even want to do their hair. That's what's really happening. Let's talk about that. That's the real issue. They lazy and they just don't want to do it.
That's a problem. That's a problem too. But
it's not the problem you're saying.
No, and I disagree.
It's not the problem you're trying to present.
No, I disagree with you because
Vince want to get in on this too.
The algorithm, whenever you're searching for stuff, is the algorithms that you search for is going to show what you want, right? So yeah, if you're searching for wigs that look like 3C, 4A, whatever type of hair, that's what it's going to show you. But I knew this wasn't going to be. Listen, I know when we talk about this, a lot of women are going to be honest. Most of these black women out here are wearing hair that does not look like their hair for the majority of the year. You just got to be honest, and that's what I'm talking about. And if I have a black daughter and I have mixed daughters, they ain't fucking happening. Y'all want leaders, right? That's not going to happen. You're not going to wear fake hair that don't look like your hair in my house. It ain't happening. Embrace your blackness. A lot of black women are not embracing who they are. If I was a black man with an Anderson Cooper wig on, you'd call me a clown. You would call me stupid. If I had Donald Trump,
you're not a woman.
If I had Donald,
y'all not supposed to do the same thing women do.
Okay. All
right. Y'all are not supposed to do the same thing women do. Now we're comparing each other like that's what we're doing now. Well, you guys do it. So what if we did it? We're not the same.
I'm talking about blackness. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
You're talking about black women in particular. Where you getting this?
I'm talking about black men too.
No. You made a point about black women not embracing they blackness. So let's stay on topic. We ain't talking about you and your boy head. We're not talking about you and your ways if that's what you want to wear. We're not talking about y'all, pressing y'all beards. We're not talking about the white line across the top of your hair. We're not talking about that.
It's his hair.
That's my hair. It's my hair.
It's his hair.
It's my hair.
Let me let Vince get in. Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead and get in on this. Go ahead, man.
I think this is a moot point because everybody trying to get their booties to look like black women now, but y'all ain't complaining about that. They're getting them lips to look like black women, but they ain't complaining about that. That ain't natural. It ain't natural for you to be curvy. Mm-hmm. It's natural for you to be straight up and down. So embrace your whiteness.
Yeah, I agree with that too, Vince. I agree with all of that.
Yeah. So
that's a and by the way, most people who are getting that BBL and boob jobs, are they white or are they black women?
White women get more boob jobs than anybody.
Yes, they do.
White women get more boob jobs than anybody. Yes, they do.
Ask Sybil. I bet he done seen it.
Rich white women get more boob jobs than anybody. That's all I see when I go on vacation is the rich white women with them big old titties.
Because they're trying to either hang on to their husband or they're trying to go ahead and get something.
It doesn't matter the reason. It don't matter the reason.
They're doing it.
I get you. But we're like realistically, when you talk about boob jobs, butt jobs, men are really not looking to marry that woman anyway. They're looking to smash and pass that woman. And if you want to be a woman that's looking to get a husband, that's looking to find a reputable man, fake hair, fake lashes, fake nails, fake breasts, fake butt ain't gonna really do it for you. And I ultimately, it might come off harsh. I might be like, that's just not fair. What about our hair? What about our this? That's just the world. That's just how it is.
This is crazy. This is crazy because the gag is before black women even could get into wearing other people's hair, before it even was a thing, Caucasian women, European women been wearing extensions since the beginning of time. The beginning of time. They've been wearing extensions. Where you
So you
think
want to be
we
a
got it
Caucasian
from?
woman? So you want to be a
This
Caucasian
is
woman?
crazy to
Hell
me. No,
no.
it's just it's I told y'all in episodes in the past, it's just the standards that y'all set for black women that y'all don't have. The expectations that y'all have for black women that y'all don't have for other women. White women and European women have been wearing extensions in their hair for the longest time. And the only reason y'all not saying nothing is because you're right. They go and get a color that might blend in with theirs, or they go and get a texture that might blend in with theirs. That's the only reason why y'all, it's still as fake as the day it was made in the
Correct, but
lab
is
that it
it
was made in.
what is
It's
it
still
representative
fake,
of the
fake
hair that
fakety
grows out
fake.
of their scalp, or is it
It's just
representative of the hair
crazy
that
to
grows
me.
out of
Like
another woman's
it's
scalp?
just, some of these white women that y'all love so much that y'all grew up looking at it and
Where does
lusting
that come
after.
from?
These women had wigs and weaves.
But I
They've
think,
been wearing
Coco,
makeup.
I think that's a
They've been
slippery
doing all of
slope.
that stuff. They've been wearing nails. They've been doing all of that.
And
But
they get
then
smashed past
now
too,
because it's a
Coco.
part
It's
of a
not
black
different.
woman's, it's just crazy to me. It's
They
crazy
get
how
smashed
y'all have
Let
past
me get
such
too,
these
issue
fellas
with
in
Coco.
here.
this.
Let me get these
It's
fellas in here.
insane. It's
Let me get these fellas
insane.
in here.
I'll never understand it.
Let me
I'll
get these
never
I
fellas
told
in
understand
you
it.
here.
I'm
Neither
out the
will I.
race. I don't get it. I'm out
Cole,
the
Vince,
race.
go ahead. Go
Now,
ahead, Cole. I see you
I
trying
mean,
to
I
come
think
off.
this is a very mute point because everybody wears something that brings some. I mean, so what? You want a woman that wears no nails, no nail polish, no push-up bra, no little blind streaks in her hair,
We're not
no
saying that,
makeup.
Vince. Stop.
That's not
That's
natural.
not what we're talking about.
All of that is
Yes, it
not
is.
natural
That's
You
though.
no
talking about
different than
something
putting
that's
on a
not
wig,
natural.
man.
All of
You
that
know
is
that's
not
different than
natural.
putting
None
on
of
a
that is
haircut.
natural.
That's
Y'all are
very
playing coy
different.
now. Now y'all playing coy like y'all
No,
know what we're
how is
talking
No,
it
about.
playing
no,
coy?
you
It's the
said
same
it.
thing.
We
You
were
said
talking about
embrace our
natural.
blackness, right? You said it. So the makeup
Yes,
that wasn't
yes.
a part of us, the hair that wasn't a part of us, none of this stuff, right? Just none of it. None of it. We got to stop all of it because none
What
of it
does
is
what
in
does
that
makeup
case,
have to
in
do with
none of it.
blackness? What does
And
that
black
mean?
women are the only ones that wear makeup. So should all women stop wearing makeup? How about
Where does
that?
that come? That's like a big leap. Where did that come from?
You said
Where's it
natural,
come from?
embrace your blackness, right? So
I'm
that
talking
means
about
I don't need to
hair.
be
I'm talking
covering
about
this.
hair.
I don't
I'm
need to
talking
be
about
painting
hair.
my face so it can be a shade
I'm talking
lighter.
about
Okay?
hair.
I don't need to be
I'm
doing
talking
that. I
about
need
hair.
to embrace my
No,
blackness.
you need to wear the shade of black that you look like. That's a problem too. That's a
But
problem too.
wait a minute though. So y'all telling me y'all okay with makeup? Because I thought y'all said y'all didn't want the lashes, y'all didn't want the wigs, y'all didn't want the weaves, y'all
Yeah,
didn't want the drag
if you
queen
look like
makeup. So
yeah, if you
y'all
look like a
y'all
drag
do want
queen,
the
yeah,
makeup
no,
now.
thank you.
Y'all okay with the makeup? It's just the wigs.
No,
As long as
like
you,
you're
oh
moving
my
the
God,
goalposts,
yeah, moving the
Coco.
goalposts.
Like,
It's
Yes,
all
like
unnatural. It's
Wait a minute.
all
Good evening, ladies and
unnatural.
but
gentlemen.
there's
Good evening.
levels. There's definitely levels.
It's all
Good
unnatural.
I'm
good
sorry,
evening,
I
ladies
heard
and
there's
gentlemen.
a new voice. I heard
I'm
somebody else. They
sorry.
really
Yes,
good.
I
Wait,
was
who's
just
that?
saying good. I was just saying good evening to everybody in the panel, ladies and gentlemen. But I do have a question to ask. I do have a question
Go
to
ahead.
ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why are the standards for black women so high, but we have no standards for, let's say we're dating a non-black woman. We don't have the same standards for her as we have for black women. We tell black females to go out there, don't wear makeup, don't wear somebody else's hair, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. But then we want them to be feminine. Which one is it going to be? Either they're going to be their naturally feminine self, or what do we want as black men? But I put that on the table from black women because it's clear right now we're not pursuing them in the same way, but we're asking them to uphold these standards that us as black men, we're never told we need to lose some weight. We're never told, we need to, you know, get a bigger dick. Excuse my language. So what's the standard here?
What? What?
I'd like to know the answer to that too. It's a good question. I want to know the
like to
answer
know the
to it.
answer to it.
Yeah, I want to know. Me and Cole both want to know the answer to that.
All right, Civil
Especially on the
Beatboxer.
bigger
Y'all gotta
dick
come.
thing.
Y'all gotta come back with something.
It
Come on,
goes
Civil.
both
Remember
Somebody.
that. How y'all make
Go
up
ahead,
for
Civil.
It goes both ways. I'm not just gonna choose some white woman because she's white or some Latin woman because she's Latin. There's standards. And if you have standards and you can enforce those standards, you just stick to them. Like to sit here and say that black men don't have the same requirements for other races, bro. Like
They
Y'all
do.
don't.
that's lazy.
Wait,
That's
Y'all
a very
don't.
lazy take and a very
You
lazy
mean
You
the
point.
don't though. You
Brazilian butt
don't.
lift? You mean the Brazilian butt lift? Is that what you mean? The Brazilian butt lift, not the black woman butt lift. The Brazilian,
Vince,
since y'all like these Spanish women, the Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, they're hot.
'That's not
80%
natural.
tell them,
of
Vince.
people in Brazil
Yeah.
look like beatboxer
Like,
me and you, Vince.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
black.
What are we talking about?
But they got
They're
that
pretty
booty,
black.
but they got that BBL too.
They got them
Yeah,
bundas.
so
I'll give it
But
to
they
them. But
wouldn't say they
That
wouldn't
wasn't
call they wouldn't
natural.
call themselves what you call yourself.
Can we
no,
just
because I'm American. I'm a black
yeah, I'm
American. They
American.
wouldn't
I'm
call
Right. They
themselves
Brazilian.
black
wouldn't say they
Americans. I
were
agree.
black. They wouldn't say black.
Who
I know
cares?
black. I know black.
Yeah,
I
They
who
do.
wouldn't
cares?
say
I
that.
know black.
So the point about them looking like us doesn't matter.
it doesn't.
Oh my God! Listen,
So
okay.
we got like
They'll
7
just say that
different
they'll just say
discussions.
that I'm a Brazilian, but they would not say they're black. But we got to get real with this whole this whole thing here. We have nothing to do with being called black people. That was given to us by white people, and it's nothing to be proud of because that was not meant for us to be up there, whatnot. It was to downgrade us politically. It was to keep white over black, or in Mr. Neely Fuller Jr.'s case, white over non-white. That's where
What's your source?
that term came along.
Are you Hebrew Israelite? What's going on?
I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, no. But I mean, let's keep it real. But we don't have control over that term. We didn't call ourselves black people. So where do we get it from?
Who gives a damn?
Okay, so like, what does that
Whose
do?
foundation? I mean,
What does
but
that have to do with what we're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. All right, Duke. Like I hear you, and I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with your purview on the whole term black. We literally just use it on this show. We literally just use it on this show because it's just a general term that we identify ourselves in this country. But I don't disagree with what you're saying, by the way. We just use it on this show because it's a general term that we are identified as in this country. But I do agree with you about the standards for Black women being different. And I've said this before in previous shows. I do believe that when a man chooses to date outside of his culture, and I believe this for women too, it's not just the men. I believe that I'm not saying that you guys don't look for maybe some personality traits and things like that. I'm not saying that you don't. But I believe that there are things that you're going to expect from a Black woman because she is a Black woman, that you are going to relax for a woman that is non-Black. And I'm saying that because I am around people who are interracially married and interracially dating. And they absolutely are doing this. And when I noticed the couples that I won't even say I know them personally, but maybe in proximity with, right? That I noticed some of those things. I noticed the differences. And I still believe that at the root of that, that's because because of our experiences and because of this dissension between the two of us, we're always just going to do that. We're going to judge each other harshly. We're going to judge each other more harsh than we do someone who is non-Black. We're going to do that. We're going to see each other in a different lens than we look through the lens of the non-Black individual. We're going to do that. And I just want us to be honest about that. We are going to do that. It is a real thing. And we're seeing it. As a Black woman, I see it. So the reason why I say things like, well, Europeans were wearing wigs first, and they're the ones that taught us how to do this crazy drag queen makeup and all of these things. Like, I say that stuff because I needed to be understood that we're being looked at through a different lens. We are.
But also, ma'am, Black female beauty is sort of marginalized. I mean, you go to any, not to cut you off, ma'am, but you go to any grocery store. I mean, hell, go to a Barnes and Noble or go to a Books A Million and look in the magazine section. It's all non-Black women who are very thin looking, ain't got hardly no chest on them, but just thin as a rail. But that is the standard of sexual attraction and beauty. Black females and other non-white females, they're not looked at in the same category. I mean, we had in the 90s, we had a Tyra Banks, we had a Naomi Campbell. That was one out of a few. But we had Bo Derek everywhere you turned around. Sidney Crawford, Kate Moss. The list just goes on and on. So Black women have it tough as hell to deal with.
Yeah, let me just add some additional context to that. So I understand what you're saying on that one, Duke. But I think there's an additional piece to that, right? So there's a difference between an object that's considered beautiful and then an object that is considered for lust. Yeah, but that's the difference, right? So
Can you elaborate on that further? I like that. Can you elaborate on that further?
I got you. So yeah, we framed some people, and I know you spoke to, some of these Caucasian examples, right? So we framed some people as beautiful, right? So these Bill Derricks and whatever, whatever you mentioned, right? But then we've also framed some people as essentially lust objects. Yeah, so when you look at the way that a lot of the, I'll just call it what it is. A lot of the black women get framed, it's as lust objects, right? So that's, once again, we got to remember that there's a lot of narratives and agendas that are being pushed, right? And I think this is a part of the internal breakdown that's happening between black men and black women. Because at the end of the day, let me just bring it all back. Let me bring it all back. As it stands today, just based on my observation, black men and women, we're just in this. There's a lot of us that's in this state of just bucking each other. We just fighting each other. Yeah, we not respecting each other. We don't value each other's opinions. We don't want to have honest conversations with each other. We don't want to work towards a common goal of success collectively. Like, we just want to do this individual thing, right? And I don't think we understand that that's literally destroying us from the inside out. Yeah, that's literally destroying us from the inside out. Yep, I look at some of our men out here. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Some of the fellas out here, they got some issues with some of these black women out here. Let me just keep it a buck. But they still eventually end up coming back to a black woman at some point. Yep, and the same thing is happening on the female side to the men. I see all this content out here, and these black women, they just talking all type of stuff about these dudes. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw an example in while I'm talking about it right now.
We need to go back to when we didn't care about men's emotions, for real. Fuck men's mental health. Fuck it. Fuck all of that shit.
And that's example of what I'm talking about, that right there. Yep, I'll see content of women going on here talking about these. Typically, they talking about brothers, because as I said, I see the content coming from some of the black women. But it's like they'll go on here and they'll make this content. They so upset with these black men. They don't care about their mental state. F them. They don't care nothing about them. But then as soon as something happens, the first person they looking for is a black man. Yeah, so at some point, we got to come up off of this mess. Yeah, all this individual stuff is not going to get you as far as you think it's going to get you. Yeah, but it's not going to work out how you think it's going to work out. Yeah, all this individual stuff is not going to play to your benefit when you get older and you start needing folks. Yeah, so it's like all this bucking and stuff that we doing, all this fighting, these double standards that we holding for each other. This stuff is only destroying us. Yeah, but it's like we just don't see it. Yep, and then on top of that, we lay this heavy layer of selfishness on top of it. And then we only want to move as self. It's only just self, I. And it's like we just don't understand. We gonna need each other at some point. Yeah, these relationships don't work if we don't have the man and the woman. Yeah, these marriages don't work if we don't have a man and the woman on the same page. Like, these families don't work if we don't have the men and the women thinking of having like mind. It don't work. Yep, and I'm surprised this far in that we haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, it ain't about this hair. It ain't about this money. It ain't about none of this little nonsense that we try to use as excuses. It's at the end of the day, we just out here being selfish and we just don't want to do the work. Yep, at the end of the day, fellas, these ladies, you know what I'm saying? The decent ones, and I'm going to preface by saying this. The decent ladies, they just looking for a decent man. Yeah, they're looking for a man who moves like a man, take care of some business, carry yourself a certain way. He know how to smell good. He know how to put some clothes on. You know what I'm saying? He talking like he actually want to be a father. Like that's all they're looking for. Like I said, once again, I'm talking about the decent ones.
But Quay,
And
can
then
I
on,
interject something?
go ahead, Vince. Go ahead, man.
I want to interject something that we can't just not act like it's not a problem. We have to understand. I know I always make this point, but I don't think we understand the seriousness of it. We are having men being raised with no man in the picture.
Right.
You know, I'm 53, so in our generation, we might not have had our fathers, but we definitely had our grandfathers who were real men, came from the South, worked hard. They might not have been the most educated, but they were leaders in their homes because they worked hard and they did what other people wouldn't do. Granddaddy worked 4 jobs so grandmama could sit at home and raise her kids. He might have worked at the plant, did a night job as a security guard, or he worked here, we worked there. These boys have been raised by women that don't really want to work one job. I asked these young men, how many jobs y'all got? Oh man, we work part-time at the Chick-fil-A. I said, why you ain't pick up another job? Oh man, I don't want to work that hard. But you want a woman. You want to be a king. No, I'm just going to wait on my mama to do it. Well, I'm going to wait on my girlfriend to do it. These boys are, just like I told you, these boys are going from their mama's house to their girlfriend's house. Driving her car. You know, while she a senior and she got a night job, and he can't keep one job. So I definitely understand why these ladies are saying we can't just deal on potential because I truly believe now that I've evolved and I'm getting older, it's hard to be what you haven't seen. It just is. If you ain't seen no daddy, you don't know. You looking at what? I mean, we ain't even got Bill Cosby no more. At least we had the Cosby Show. I can go to an HBCU and get some education and be like Dr. Cosby. What we got now? Future, 50 Cent, Puffy. I mean, come on, what we really got?
We don't
So
have
we have to take some accountability as men. And I don't know. I think a lot of these dudes just gonna have to die off. I would tell a lady over 35, you can't rely. If they ain't got it about 35, they ain't gonna get it. Cole,
Nope.
don't let no man tell you he's 40 years old. Oh, I got a dream. I'm gonna start this lawn service. If
Oh
boy, you
hell
ain't
no!
started
I
at
don't play that.
25.
I don't play that shit. Sorry,
I'm sorry, it's
I
an
don't play
age
that shit
limit
at
on
all.
potential. Now when
Cole,
they
Cole, is,
22,
Cole, time's ticking, baby girl.
now when
Time's
they
ticking, though.
22 talking
Yo, don't
about a
even
lawn
start right
service,
now,
okay.
boxer.
But when
Don't
they
even
40,
start. I'm
talking
gonna jump over
about to
there
start this
and get
lawn
you
service.
today. I'm choosing violence. Okay.
So let me ask you this question. You were born in the 70s, correct?
Who you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
1972.
All right. I was born in 1982, so 10 years. Is there reason to believe that the babies that were born in what is called Gen X and millennials are the last generation of children that actually had discipline and was taught standards, even though our parents weren't as highly educated?
I would say male discipline. You gotta put that in there. Male authority. Respect for men. That was the last age of that. It's certain when I got around men, I couldn't be cussing. I don't care if I was 18, 19. You got kids cussing around grown men, around grown women. Somebody told me, boy, take your hat off. I don't care if it was a stranger. I took my hat off because I respected that man. He ain't have to be my daddy or my uncle or nobody. Now there's no respect for male authority because there ain't no male authority in the home. And on top of it, they done seen their mama disrespecting me, and I'm just gonna keep it 100.
That's real right there.
I think that disrespect cuts both ways too, because
Oh
yes,
yeah.
you can have a man in that home, but doesn't mean he participates in the day-to-day activities of the children, like going to PTA meetings,
I
helping with
debunked that. My
homework.
grandfather never went to a PTA meeting, but he made sure it was food in the house. He made sure them lights was on. So
Then
I
that's
debunked
another
that
thing. That's
whole.
another thing I think
I
we can
debunked
touch
that
on
whole.
too.
Well, he there, but he ain't doing nothing. If he there, he doing something. Unless it's abusive. No, I can't say no. I'm not. I'll accept that. But I get tired of. Well, he was there, but he wasn't doing enough. He was there. He was doing something.
What I mean by doing something is that there are men who only are there not to pay attention to the children themselves, but to see what the woman is doing, or to make sure another man doesn't raise his children, but he's not going to raise them himself. So you can have that going on, and still you can have a statue in the house, but that statue don't talk. That statue don't interact with you.
Yeah,
So
That's what I mean by
It's
you can have
it's
a
hard for me to believe that though. I know people say that, but that's a very small percentage of people. And I'm talking about husbands and wives. I ain't talking about baby daddies. I'm talking about men who have loved their wives and love their children. Now, they might not be because that age they didn't do a lot of talking. They did a lot of action. So maybe you had a father that worked all the time. His presence was still there. His energy was still there. His wife was telling, you know what, your daddy out there working for us. Yeah, I know he ain't here, but he providing for us. And then that son is like, okay, well, I gotta provide for my mother. Even I might not be there, but I gotta provide for my wife. I have to provide for my children. And sometimes you can't go to PTA meetings.
right.
But at least you had them there. Now there's no presence. There ain't even no consistent child support.
now after the providership, what comes next? Because you gotta, because a parent is eventually gonna have to be a teacher.
But can we
So
start
Okay.
there though? But can we just start there? Let's just
okay, we
start
can start
there.
there. Yes, sir.
They just start there, and then there's that's just like people say, well, you got to be hit. Can we just start with over 60% of the children being born in wedlock? I ain't gonna talk about happy marriage. Can we just start with born in wedlock and just see and let's see how that works.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
I don't think so either, but I don't
go
think
ahead,
so either.
Coco. You want to
I mean,
respond? Go
from a
ahead.
female perspective, though, I have to add the female dynamic in there because I think this is the part that needs to be understood. This is why you need that woman to understand her role. The women were the teachers. That wasn't the men. It wasn't the men. The women were the teachers. The women were the ones who poured into the children, taught them, the ones who were the day-to-day guidance for the children. That's actually what the women were supposed to bring. It doesn't mean that a man doesn't teach his son, but I agree with or daughter, but I agree with Vince in the sense that men teach by action. We're the ones that get in there and we are all emotional, mental care, mental care, emotional care, physical care, as far as they're nurturing them through our food and through that's how we nourish our children, right? That's how we pour into them. And before we had the school systems the way we have them, the women were the ones teaching the kids, right? When the kids needed to learn about like life skills, especially if it was a young man, that's when he got sent with dad. But everything else that he needed to know, the woman was facilitating that, right? Because that's sort of where we shine as women. I'm not saying that men aren't smart and can't teach. That's not what I'm saying. Stay with me. But that's where we shine as women. That's where our nurturing and our feminine disposition, those are our superpowers, our natural gifts and talents, if you will. That's where we shine, right? That's a lot of the reason why it was championed for women to stay at home, because they could pour into their children in those ways, because that's what women were really good at doing, right? So it's not that the man's role is less important, but the way men show up in the lives of their children looks different than the way women show up in the lives of their children. And the education that he's going to get or he or she's going to get from dad is going to be completely different than what he's going to get from mom. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. Controversial. This might be controversial. Dad don't need to be there 24/7, 365 days. Mom does. Y'all can like it or not like it. Dad does not have to be there 24/7, 365 days. Mom, however, needs to be. Okay? And I guarantee you, even if dad is not there 24/7, 365, if dad is leading by action, those children are going to get everything that they need from him. I guarantee.
So are you saying, ma'am, 80-20 parenting?
No, I'm saying that he's shown. Nope. See, don't. You want to qualify. What I'm saying to you is the what the man brings to the table is not always, it's not the same thing. So trying to get a percentage of, well, that means he's only doing this much and she's only doing, it's not about who's doing what percentage. It's about what they both bring. What he brings to the table is just as valuable as what she brings to the table. It's just different. And if we stop trying to compare and make everything equal across the board with each other, we would understand this. This is how we're missing the plot. It's not about, well, she cooks and she cleans, and then she picks the kids up and takes and drops them off. And all he does is just, take them to Little League on the weekends and, pay all the bills. So he only does 2 things. She does 3 things. So that means she's doing more. No, stop that. That's not how it works. Because the part that he's doing, him being the one to be there to show up every weekend, to take his son to Little League and take his daughter to swim classes, the conversations that they're having, the way he's showing up for them, they are getting a lot out of that. It's not about it being equal. It's not going to be equal because their roles are not equal. We got to stop. This is how we've lost the plot. This feelings, mumbo jumbo stuff that's with these younger generations. Y'all got to get out y'all feelings. Get out of your feelings. And let's get back to practicality. If a man is doing what he needs to do, he's not going to be able to be there all the time. He's just not. Let's be realistic. He's not going to be able to be there 24/7, 365. He's just not. And I don't know where y'all getting this from. It's not equal. No, men are not equal to women and women are not equal to men. And we're not supposed to be. Imagine that. Yeah, y'all are supposed to have something on us. Yep. Y'all are supposed to have something over us. Yep, y'all are. Because how are you going to lead me if you and me on the same level? Oh, y'all ain't ready for that? If I'm trying to walk neck and neck with you right by your side, then who watching both our backs? You go ahead and walk in front. It's okay. I'm back here. I got your back. I'm going to see it coming before you ever do. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yep. Yeah, you're supposed to bring the bacon home and I'm supposed to put it in the pan and fry it because I multiply. That's what I do. Yeah, you're supposed to give me the seed and I'm supposed to grow it into a baby. That's what I do. I multiply. Yeah.
Cooking.
You're supposed to bring me an idea and I'm supposed to say less. And I'm supposed to then take your idea and I'm supposed to turn it into a brand because that's what I do. I multiply. See, y'all have lost the plot. Men don't understand what men things are and women don't understand what women things are. That's why we're falling apart.
Well, is there reason to believe that also that, and not to sound like a broken record here, we are under a political system culture where as Black males and as Black females, we're not able to function as men and women, not in the sense of the word of being masculine or feminine in our, because we've been totally separate out of those roles. Like we don't know where those roles begin. Oh well, because I mean, look at our current status in the United States, or the United States of white supremacy is what I call it.
Okay.
Um, the United States of white supremacy has never allowed black people, male or female, to function as their natural maturity state of being men and women, because black male masculinity is a threat to the white supremacy system culture. Black female femininity has been looked upon as inferior to white women inferiority, like second best or not at all. And so black females have had to function as not only the men but also the women.
Since
And
when? That's not true. We
I,
were
I, I
married. We were married at an 80% clip before the civil rights movement. 80%. So what do you mean by they were made? No, they weren't. They were made
n-
to do that when they
Vince,
brung
Vince
in.
was Vince. It was actually like 92. It was
what
like
I
92.
what I'm saying here, I mean, we can try to dress up, make it all sexy and cute, like we're trying to rewrite Jim Crow to be the sexy and cute thing for black people. Yeah, we can have intact families, but not have legal balance between people, and not have adequate abilities to be able to take care of our offspring, or be able to truly have functional, correct relationships with our women.
Mm.
So I understand what you're saying, but part of the problem is at the end of the day we don't have to acclimate to that. Yeah, see, that's part of the problem. Yes, like we always waiting on somebody's permission. Like I don't know where
I
we
didn't
get
say
that.
wait on, sir. I didn't say wait on permission. What I
No,
said is
I'm not saying
politically and
I'm not
socially
saying
speaking, black males have not been able to function as men in the correct sense of that word, of being managers of their homes, because one, we're paid very inadequately on our jobs. We are overworked, underpaid, and then we come home, we're burdened with the stresses of having to go outside that door and fight white people for just our basic human rights or self-respect,
What white
whether
people you fight?
directly or
Wait, wait, come on,
indirectly.
bro. Come on.
Second, second, on second one, when we come home to our women,
Come on.
we're already. Excuse me, hold on, sir. I'm not being discourteous here. When we come home to our women, the little small things that affect us on the job, we bring it home, and it's not the woman's fault. We really want to punch that white dude on the job that really is messing with our money and really messing with our opportunity to be of anything to our children. But we take it out on her when she comes out and challenges our manhood about not being able to pay the rent this week, not being able to do this, not being able to do that. And so we're having we're in conflict with each other all the time as black males and black females. We can do the best we can with it, but we have to stop this sort of pretendy kind of thing, saying, "Oh no, we have autonomy." No, the hell we don't. Because if we had autonomy, we wouldn't be in this condition. We wouldn't be losing the plot. We wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be actually having our children would actually have not killed themselves in a genocide back in the 90s, and now we would definitely be in a much better place if we stop pretending that we are something that we're not.
Yeah,
We can
but
do the singing and dancing all day long. We can do the Mercedes Benz drive and the flashy cars and all that other garbage. But reality is we are prisoners of a penal system and don't even have to have bars around it.
So okay,
so I,
so
I'm
to say
free.
all
Jesus set
that,
me free. I'm not in
what's the
bondage.
answer then, bro?
Jesus set me free. I'm not in
So what's the
bondage. I don't
answer
claim
then,
that. Don't
bro?
speak that curse over me.
So
Okay,
what's the
I would
answer
say
then?
that. I would say semi bondage. And what I mean by semi bondage in the ladies' I'll use the ma'am's words. Semi bondage meaning, politically speaking, somebody else controls our outcomes in life.
yeah,
Somebody, when the laws are written, when policies are written, we're not at the table.
yeah, but I think
But what
to
can
respond to you though, Duke, this our problem is before that. So you just gave a great example where you said that this man is out here at this job fighting this battle with this white manager or whatever. He comes home and his woman wants to challenge his manhood. Our problem is before the politic piece and the political and all of that. The problem is at the foundation. We don't respect each other. Why would you be challenging your husband's manhood when he come home from work? See, that's an issue right there. And see, we gotta, once again, this is why we've lost the plot, because we've lost sight of why we even here. We've lost sight of why we've even been created. But at the end of the day, as a husband, I'm not about to be challenging my woman's womanhood when she come home from work. At the end of the day, the house is supposed to be a place of peace. So why am I challenging her womanhood, and why is she challenging my manhood after I just went and put this 12 hours in on at this plant, and I'm coming home like Coco said earlier, to bring the bacon home so she can throw a little meal together so we can nourish these kids and nourish the family and keep moving in a better direction. So just based on your example alone tells me that our issue is before all of this structure. Yep, I understand agendas. I understand narratives. I understand we've been dropped into a scenario that essentially is here to take advantage of us and our resource and our contributions to that system. So I understand that. But if we can't even respect each other on a basic level, then ain't nothing popping off. Yep, if we not challenged, if we can't exist in a relationship with a woman or a man and live in a household with kids and not be trying to challenge each other's womanhood and manhood and all this nonsense, then we the structure don't even matter at that point. We can't get past the basics. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if we want to try to turn this situation around, for me, it starts with respecting each other. That's at the beginning of it. Yep, 2, this selfish stuff. We got to come up off of that. It's not just the I situation. Yeah, so we got a foundational issue. Yep, the technicalities, the stuff that you was talking about, I understand that. But our problem is before that. Yeah, but we got to address that before anything else is going to happen. Yeah, but we can't get the basic respect right. Ain't going to be no families. Ain't going to be no raising up no kids in the right structure. Ain't going to be no no proper environment for the kids to thrive in if we can't even respect each other at a basic level. Yep, and that's what we seeing today. Yeah, respect is out of the door. Yep, like Vince said earlier in his example, a man used to be able to tell another young fella, hey, take that hat off, have some respect. And he knew to follow that direction. Yeah, but see, now the response is, you can't tell me nothing. You ain't my daddy. And that's how I know that there's no respect. And that's how I know that there's also not being no respect taught in these households, because a kid would never even let that come out his mouth. Yeah, so we got to start there, if anything. But man, I got to get us up out of here, man. We just hit that 10:30. I got to get us up out of here. I'm taking some clothes. I'm coming across the top and the bottom, and we gone. Coco, what you want to say before we get up out of here?
Yes, I'm going to say my closing with my photo of my 20-inch kinky straight wig that I'm wearing here. This is a 20-inch kinky straight Afro textured wig that I am wearing here in this photo. And I'm going to leave that up while I give my closing, because Black women, we like all kinds of hair. So I'll just say this. I think that Black people have definitely lost the plot. I agree with Quay when he says that it starts with the foundation of a lack of respect. That is the greatest thing. I think that the dissension between the two of us, or the contention between the two of us, whatever you want to call it, that is the Black man and the Black woman, is the reason why we are looking at each other and we're already seeing less than. When a Black woman looks at a Black man, she already sees him as less. His value is less. The amount of respect she's going to give him is going to be less. And it's the same for Black men when they look at Black women. The standards for a Black woman to a Black man are higher. They are. And we can put lipstick on that pig, but at the end of the day, a Black man wants to see a Black woman look the best version that he believes she can look. And I'm just going to say the thing that nobody wants to own up to. It's not with her Afro textured, kinky, non-manipulated hair. It is not. And I can say this pretty confidently because those women are not getting the attention or not being selected at the same rate that the others are. And I've had personal examples of this. I can wear this wig that I have on right in this photo and get a completely different response than when I was wearing, because I'm a straight natural, meaning my hair is 100% my hair, but I do straighten it because I like the way it looks straightened. Okay. But it's my hair. But I can wear this wig or I can go out the house with a wash and go. And you tell me what type of response I'm going to get with this wig on versus my wash and go. The way my hair grows out my head without any manipulation. I'll tell you, none. I'm going to get no response. Because at the end of the day, the gag is you want your women to be natural, but just not too natural. You want Black women to wear makeup, but just not too much makeup. You want Black women to have a butt, but not too much butt. You want Black women to have boobs, but not too much boobs. And don't show them to nobody else but me. All of these standards and all of these, expectations that you have. And it's the same for Black women or Black men. It's the same. But we're doing this to each other. We save this for each other. Not understanding that at the end of the day, you can think however you want to think. This is my personal opinion, and I believe this to be pretty true. We were literally created as the exact partner for each other. Period. I don't care what y'all say. It is what it is. So it's okay if you choose to date someone else and marry someone else. Hey, do what you do. Find a partner that works for you. But at the end of the day, all of this hate for each other, and yeah, I'm going to say it. That's what it is. It's hate. Because I don't see no love coming from these conversations. None. Or respect either, for that matter. And the bad part about it is, yeah, we still at the bottom. We are. We still at the bottom. Nobody respecting us. At this point, ain't nobody respecting us. Nobody. We are acting a whole fool on Donald John Quavius's Trump's internet every night and every day. And this is what the world is seeing. So yeah, we've lost the plot. We don't even have enough respect for maintaining the just maintaining the respect for our culture. Like, we so busy fighting each other that we don't even care how we look to everyone else. We don't even care about presenting ourselves as a culture worthy of respect. We don't even care about that. We too busy fighting each other. And then everybody else making money off of our ignorance. Yeah, I would say Black people have definitely lost the plot.
Okay, appreciate that closeout right there, Coco. All right, B-Box, it's on you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the closeout. Mr. Price, I'm sorry that I called you by your first name. I always want to be respectful to those who are good. And I'm dead serious about that. I feel bad calling I want to be serious. Also, Duke ran away. What happened?
I don't know, he dropped off. I don't know, man.
Hey, and one more thing before I close, Vince. Now me and Vince are Facebook friends. Now I can stalk you. So I appreciate that.
Subscribe to my stuff. I'm very controversial.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I see it.
Can I get a like though? Can I get a like sometime?
I got you, bro. I typically don't. I'm typically not on Facebook unless like my kids are posted or something like that. But so it's not personal. I'm just lame. And Miss Coco, I do love going back and forth with you, even though we don't agree on some things. I do, because I think personally, I'll say this: it's real. I think we still need as a community still need to have these conversations. because they're just hard conversations, and we might not agree, and that's okay. I think. Um, but for me, as far as the topic, black people have lost the plot. Listen, guys, I'll just say this again. I'll say it more and more. You just need to build wealth. You need two people. It's so much easier if you have two people. Um, it's always been that way. It will forever be that way. Um, and for the community that's complaining about, and I get what Duke was trying to say as a progressive. I understand what he's trying to say, but those things are ancillary when you don't fix the foundation first. Like that, I get it. I understand. I understand. And I do think some of it's also excuses too. Like saying black men are getting paid less. I don't want to hear it. Like I work in finance and I see some stuff, and you get to see what people are doing, what they're really working with. I gotta say, brothers, some of y'all ain't hitting on nothing. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. I just gonna be
Come
honest.
on.
Some of y'all are not doing what you're supposed to do. And Vince was right about that. I will say again, a majority of us are doing what we're supposed to do. We're actually making more than white women now. But there is a large plurality of us that are bums. It's just true, man. It's just, there's too many of us who are not doing what we're supposed to do. We're just not. And then you want a woman to respect you. It ain't going to happen. It's just not. Get it together. Get together, or live in communes with the same sex. Maybe that will work for y'all. I don't know. Good luck to all y'all.
I knew you was about to drop that bomb at the end. I felt it coming. All right, let me check in with Cole. Cole, you still there?
Yes.
I wasn't letting you off the hook without no clothes. What you want to say before we get out of here?
In relation to the topic, black people have lost the plot. Yes. I mean, it's no plan, it's no vision. Period. Like, I don't get it. And these standards too damn high. And in my case, it's too much focus on freaking beauty. There's other aspects to the relationship. Disagree with me? I don't give a shit. But I focus on other things too, other than the beauty. There's real life shit going on. And we keep talking about the beauty. I get it. I mean, if y'all sitting here saying that beauty get the motherfucker you want, I mean, all right, that's the game I'm not playing. I ain't built that way. And that's what it is. So freaking be it. Like I'm telling you, I'm getting more and more comfortable and accepting the fact that I just might be by myself because I'm not. It just don't make sense.
Cole. Don't say that.
I'm being real. I can't. I think half these comments are stupid. I do. I'm not gonna hold you.
We got help her, Mr. Price. We got help her.
Yeah, I don't want her to tap out. I don't want her to tap out.
That can be done.
She's too young to be talking like that. I don't want you tapping out there. Come on,
to the topic. I think it's ridiculous. I think the community just it not with it. We focus on the wrong shit. That's how I feel. We focus on the wrong shit.
That's real. Okay, you want to leave it like that? That's where you leaving it?
Yep.
All right, there it is. All right, Vince, it's on you, man. What you want to say before we get out of here?
Okay, I'm gonna try to be short, but I think I'm gonna be long, so bear with me here.
Go ahead.
This is for my man. What was his name? Duke or Dude? Or?
Duke.
I'm gonna say this is 2026, and I know the Grammy Awards are about to come on in a couple of days. And there's a movie that's expecting to get a lot of awards, and it's called Sinners. And when the movie came out, they said it's based in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And I was like, wow, that's where my grandparents came from. My grandmother was born in 1925 in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I said, I got to go see it. And I went to see the movie, and the one vivid image that sticks with me was when they were going through that cotton field. And I remember my grandparents was sharecroppers in 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 Mississippi in 1925. My grandfather had a third grade education. My grandmother had to walk 3 miles to go to school. Then they came up to Michigan because my grandfather got the $5 job at Chrysler. My grandmother went to go work for a physical therapist, and they built a life together. My grandparents started an adult foster care home in 1969 when they were when they were removing and closing up the institutions. They said, we want these individuals in the community, and they started Williams Community Living. I work for that company right now. And as far as this whole oppression shit piece, we have to take some responsibility for what we do in our life. I was a teenage father at 17. White man ain't tell me to go fuck that little girl. I got into UAD with a 2.5 grade point average. They were going to pay for my whole schooling, but I couldn't concentrate. I'm up at the school talking about black studies classes, and they don't respect me as a black man. But they gave me a full ride to one of the best schools in the state, and I fucked that up. So then, yeah, I struggle life. I had to work 3 jobs for most of my life. It had shit to do with no white man. Those were decisions that I made. Child support, I made those decisions. Bankruptcy, I made those decisions. Foreclosures, I made those decisions. Nothing to do with no white man. So, brother, if you still listening, we got to get off that victim train and start taking some accountability for what we do. Because this is not slavery. Whatever job you're going to, they're paying you. And if you don't like that job, get some more skills and get another one. Sorry. Too many of us are successful nowadays to keep talking about that slave shit. Now, yeah, systematic racism does, but we got to get to that point. Ain't nobody under systematic racism in Detroit.
Or where I'm from in Maryland. The whole stuff.
Baltimore.
The whole state.
Baltimore.
Yeah, they ain't happening. It's just not.
Exactly. So come on, bro. I'll land there. And Coco, I like your hair.
She must have not walked away, man. She must have walked away, man. Appreciate that closeout, man.
I'm back where I missed.
I said I like your hair.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I liked it too. It was a look. I like giving looks. It's hard to give looks when you have one length of hair and one texture of hair. Sometimes you got to switch it up so you can keep giving looks. I like to serve looks to the girls. All
right, we ain't about to start that back up. Let me go to Silver. Silver, it's on you, man. You want to say before we get out here?
Oh man, like tonight's episode was really good. We had a lot of different perspectives to look at things, but in regards to have black people lost the plot, yes. I mean, I don't even know if it was necessarily lost or if it was just kind of diverted or taken or stolen, but we've missed out on growing the foundation of family and allowing ourselves to branch out from there. And also to the young man, Duke, he was actually older than me. So, sir, genuinely, I understand where you're coming from. But at a certain point, just like Vincent said, you need to just do something with your life. You need to just do something and stop making excuses. There's tons of excuses to be made, but that won't make you any money. That won't make you independent. And if you're still in the country that you're so, oppressed by, leave. Just go somewhere else and do you. You don't have to participate in the system. Like, you don't have to go out and buy the newest shoe, get the newest car. You can make your own soap. You can grow most of your own food, and you don't need a ton of land to do that for a small family. I can vouch for that because I do that myself, although I am a person who goes out and I get it, but I don't let excuses stop me. But ultimately, great episode. Coco, I really appreciated your perspective. I love the conversations that you have because of the fact that you allow yourself to hear what the other person is saying, not be offended unless they're literally coming at you, and just kind of understand it from a perspective of neutrality. So I appreciate that. I listened to some of the things you said about hair, and I'm like, okay, I can get on board with that. Although I do still keep and maintain my opinion, which is synonymous with what Beatboxer said. So I get that. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the talk. Great conversation, everybody. Love it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Civil, yeah, it definitely was a great conversation tonight. Like I said, these are the conversations that have to be had, right? They got to be had. And that's the only way that we can move forward. We got to lay stuff out on the table. We got to talk about it. We got to agree. We got to agree to disagree, whatever it ends up being. But you know what I'm saying? You got to have a conversation. I said, and that's what we doing on Kandid Konvos, and that's what we're going to continue to do so that we can move us in a better direction collectively. But man, once again, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco, Beatboxer, Cole, Vince, JR was on earlier, my guy Civil. Shout out to Duke joining us tonight. Appreciate you hopping on. Definitely come back, check us out. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. The comments went crazy, man. We appreciate you guys, like I said, having that conversation in the comments, supporting the platform and supporting what we do, man. Shout out to my mods as well. But man, with that being said, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night. We go live 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook. So if you haven't already, smash that like button, man. Hit that subscribe, man. And like I said, turn on them notifications so you know when we drop content. We always dropping. But man, with that being said, man, everybody have an awesome night. We're going to catch y'all next Wednesday.